Naruto has just fired a Rasengan toward Kakashi. So hello, welcome guys to the second part of one of the most beloved series, that is What If Kurama Adopted Naruto. So as always, we should jump right into it. In the last part, we have seen that how the whole story has been progressed and how Naruto and Kurama relation be and Minato being late. So to watch the complete story and that how this all happened, do watch the first part. That link in the cards above, and you can see in the I button. Do watch it to understand the story in much more detail. And if you don't want to watch the last part, then even still you can watch it, because this part is not much related to the last part, and in the last part only the gist of the story has been done and nothing to the canon has been touched. So here we start the story. Kurama and Naruto relation has been very perfect, and Kurama will be teaching him how to control the ninjutsu and his ability, and will be training in his mind to gain new contracts and become not be interfering with Naruto chakra. That make Naruto to use the chakra in a much more effective manner and have a greater control over his chakra and having a very good stockpile of chakra, because many times Kurama will lend him chakra to use in his battle. And as Minato being live, Minato will also assign many Jonis and Chunis to help Naruto to learn new techniques and will be teaching him how to use the Rasengan. And then Kurama will be telling that this technique has been one of the derived form, his own form, that is tail beast form. And when his body becomes strong enough to control the QB and his chakra of massive flow, he will teach him how to use the QB control and have a control over the tail beast bomb. And with the help of this technique, you can easily master it. So he will also do some basic about how to form it, because it's very similar to the tail beast bomb. So Naruto will learn it very easily and having no interference in his chakra, that is due to the tail beast, he would be easily able to control the chakra and make new technique. So Minato will be telling him many ninjutsu, and Kurama will also teaching him that he has an affinity of having the chains and the Kekkei of the Uzumaki clan, and will be teaching Naruto that how to use it, because he has seen that all other masters that have already been before have used them. So will push Naruto to the boundaries to use them, and Naruto will be able to accelerate when in emergencies and can even have a basic control over it. Minato, seeing that his son has now been using his Uzumaki, will say, "Well done, my boy. I was not able to teach you this chain because it is a Kekkei and no other Uzumaki is left in my knowledge, so will not be able to teach it very easily. And you have learned with the help of Kurama," and will say to Kurama that you have done a very good job. And in mind of Naruto will say, in the mind of Naruto, he would say, "Thanks, Minato." And Naruto will say that Kurama is saying that thanks to you, and Minato will laugh and they'll all be heading back to home. At that time, Naruto will be in the academy and would be nearly the passing of the competition, and then he will have the news that somebody have sealed the scroll of sealing. So Kurama will tell that what is the secret behind the scroll of sealing, and will tell him that he should collect it, because if it goes to some wrong hands, it will have a very destructive foot for Hidden Leaf Village, and will say that he would help him. So when he read the play, he will say some mere genin that is in his class will be strict, and will order him to stop and give it to him. And when he will say that Mizuki has asked, then he will say that he will deal with it, and then the genin will go. So Naruto will say that if it is such a great ninjutsu, then why should I learn that? So he will be copying many jutsu with the help of Shadow Clone, because Minato in that time has teach him how to use the Shadow Clone, and due to the seeing massive chakra reserve, he also think that it is very easy to now to form many multiple Shadow Clone due to the having of a tail beast inside him and a very good amount of chakra being sealed. So he will learn many new techniques, and when he will see in the Flying God Rising, he will also copy that and see that it is the technique of his own father, and he has steal it from the second Hokage, and will seeing many new technique and will be telling Kurama that he is copying it. And Kurama said it's a wrong. Then Naruto will say, "Just see that I'm not stealing the scroll, it's just that I'm just copying and will be using only for my own purpose and not to harm other." And Kurama will say, "If you does, then I will be watchful that you don't do that." Then Mizuki will arrive. Naruto, seeing that he is betraying the Leaf Village, will be very angry and will be forming many Shadow Clone at the same time. All will be having okay Rasengan and will fighting right into the face of Mizuki and will be overwhelming it and making Mizuki bleed from many places. And seeing that, he would go back to his father and return the scroll of stealing. So then the story will say, and Naruto will be easily be passing the academy because having a very good score and a great chakra control make him very good and be one of the top of the class. And at that time, Minato will see him learn many new jutsus, and in the meantime, Naruto will be learning a new technique of his father because he has seen how powerful his father is, and his father also used that technique against him. And yes, that is the Flying Thunderbolt Rising. So Naruto will try to use it, but then Kurama said that you need to have some basic knowledge of C's to have a mastery of it, and will help him because he also know the basic of it, and some of the inner detail is on the school, and he will be also learning him and be teaching him how to use it. So Naruto will say that how to learn some sealing jutsu. Then Kurama will be telling that he has some knowledge of it and will be summoning a sealing techniques of fox. See, when we summoning a seal scroll from the fox, because fox has also very good sealing abilities, and we will be learning many new sealing abilities and has a summoning jutsu of fox, and have signed Naruto the contract of the fox and can control many foxes which have many chakra nature and can blast many new jutsu. So Naruto will be learning that, but he will not be able to access the full control of the Flying God Rising and will be practicing whenever he get the time. But due to surprise his father, he don't learn in the presence of his father or other Chunin, and only in the background. I will tell Kurama to don't tell his father that he will learn in the flying and he want to surprise him. So when the team will be assigned, Naruto being top of the class with Sasuke will be assigned a will be assigned a low rank female ninja, that is Hinata, because she being one of the lowest rank female ninja there. So she will be on their team and will be assigned to the Kakashi Hatake because he being a student of the Minato and only Sharingan user being available and one of the greatest Sharingan user being available. So for the Uchiha massacre arc, we will see that Minato will easily be able to stop it because he has less grudges toward Uzuma, will be having less grudges toward Uchiha, and due to the knowledge that Obito was able to do that, he would also interfere it and will be going through it. So Sasuke will not have that much feeling of hatred to Itachi, but Itachi will leave to master his Monkey English Sharingan because Danzo has able to kill Shisui, and to hide that fact, Danzo has ordered Itachi to leave the village and be rogue, and Sasuke will be feeling that he need to know the secret and will say to Kakashi that his only goal is to know the secret of his brother. And Naruto will say that he wants to beat his father and become one of the greatest Hokage to ever live. And Hinata will say that she want to become the greatest Hyuga member to ever live. Then Kakashi will be telling that tomorrow they will all be having a bell test. So they all will be going back to home, and Naruto will be training how to use the Flying God Rising and will be getting some basic of it, but will only be able to use it on weapons and not on bodies. So when they reach, Minato will order Kakashi to not be late because he don't want them to wait, and will say that he should be having a stable mind because he should have a stable mind and be careful of Naruto and other ninjas because seeing their potential, they are very powerful. So Kakashi will that I have trained many ninjas and will see that how powerful. So when Kakashi tell them they will having a bell test and 2 bells will be there, Naruto will be saying that we realize that Kakashi is a very strong ninja because he knows that he's been taught by his father and is one of the greatest Jonin left in the village, and is one of the strongest and nearly the most strongest after Hokage and the few top tier ninjas. So he will say to Sasuke and Hinata that they need to collaborate to even able to have a fight against him. So they will all be planning. So Naruto will be forming many shadow and will be fighting hand to hand combat with him. Then he will be using the kunai, be having a Flying God Rising seal in it, and will be charging with a Rasengan with others. And then now Kakashi will dodge him, and he will also be able to dodge the Shuriken very easily. But at that time, Naruto will switch places because of Flying God Rising and will be slamming Kakashi with the Rasengan. Seeing that, Kakashi will realize that it is a Minato technique, and he would be very proud of Naruto that he is able to learn such a high rank jutsu so easily and at such a small age. So the battle will go on, and Sasuke will also be fighting with him. So Sasuke will be tagging with Hinata and will be having a taijutsu battle, because after slamming a Rasengan, Kakashi uses substitution jutsu and being flown away, and using his ninjutsu abilities and taijutsu ability, he is able to throw Naruto to a very far distance. So when they both will be having a one-on-one fight, they would be having a very good fight, because two great taijutsu battle will be using, as Sasuke has already unlocked his Sharingan to the 2 state, and Hinata being used his Byakugan. At that time, Naruto will be flying in the air and coming with a Rasengan and will slamming Kakashi. And this time, Kakashi will not able to go away. So he will use his Mudwall Jutsu and will be covering it. But it will break by Rasengan and will be fired by Hinata many punches and will block some of the chakra point. Then Kakashi will reveal his Sharingan and will fighting with them and will be easily defeating them, and will say at last that you have all win, because this contest was only to test their this contest was only due to test their this contest was only to test them having a good teamwork, and they have all passed with flying colors, so they will all be laughing and will be having fun. So here we leave for now. Do like, share and subscribe, and as always, goodbye.